Now this is how you close out a trilogy. After 2 games of being bedeviled by the various pirates and creatures that drift in arch-villain Davy Jones' wake, it's finally time for the Black family to deal with the series' key threat once and for all. This entails a traumatic boat trip, a journey to a mysterious island, and a surprisingly large amount of alchemy for a non-alchemy themed game. But how are the hidden object scenes? Barely at all. The game is set on Jones' private island, a hideaway that he's turned from a bustling trading port to a necropolis for the living dead that make up the ranks of his eternally cursed servants. All but a few of the key locations are crumbling into disrepair, so the piles of random objects in which the game's hidden object scenes take place make a good amount of sense. The screens are quite deviously, and largely fairly, constructed. One screen has arrows that seem to hover in random places, but that's basically it for placement cheating. The game gets extremely playful with colors, however, building most screens around a bright light source, which serves to disguise items that would normally be easy to see in a sheen of colored light. Treacherous, but completely fair. There's a mixture of 12-1 assembly and mini-puzzle screens this time, so there's a roughly 50-50 chance of any given screen being justified. This is fairly standard for the series, as is the incredible skill with which the screens themselves are drawn. These are beautifully rendered screens, cementing the series as one of the best looking in the history of hidden object games. Players will regularly be asked to visit screens more than once, and every one is complex and well stocked enough to welcome repeat visits without ever compromising the challenge level. It's certainly a satisfying conclusion to the Nightmares from the Deep franchise, with an interesting story laying out the tragic origins of Jones, and revealing some humanity beneath his monstrous countenance. He gets a solid motivation, a couple of great villain moments, and a perfect send-off. This is probably the longest game in the series, taking around 4 hours to get through, and every bit of it is well paced, with the game constantly introducing new locations and obstacles that need to be overcome, without ever becoming too overwhelming. At any given time, the player only has to worry about a few inventory items and immediate objectives, so the journey never gets too convoluted or inventory too cluttered. This fedora-clad skeleton, who's nice enough to quote an Indiana Jones line.
Fortune and glory, lady. Fortune and glory.
This is the console version, so you don't have a choice in the matter. The bonus chapter is absolutely worth playing, though. I looked long and hard for something negative to say about Nightmares from the Deep 3, and here's what I came up with. The 3 different types of collectibles are just too well hidden. If ever a game needed one of those gems that stays lit as long as there's still a seahorse, card, or puzzle piece somewhere on the screen, it's this one. But that's it. From the design to the story to the top of its genre production values, this is as good as it gets and should be played by anyone who wants a truly great casual experience. This review is based on a copy of the game provided by the publisher. If you'd like to watch the playthrough which led to this review, just click on the rectangle that allows you to do that. See you back here for the next review, but until then, au revoir.